Hey, how are you? I'm glad you stopped by and downloaded my spreadsheet. My guess is that you're probably trying to find a word or a platform to build your website on. WordPress might be one of them. I did compare one of those. So check your inbox. By now-ish, you should be getting an email that has a link where you can download that the chart. If for some reason you didn't get it, check your spam box, or if something went really wonky and didn't get it at all, boop, 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 down here, contact me. Just shoot me a note, let me know that you didn't get it, and I'll be happy to send that link out for you. Listen, the other reason why I wanted to do this video is I understand what it's like being an entrepreneur. And so I have something for you. I have a gift for you. And I just wanted to add some more value to, like, I understand, I get what it's like trying to make all these decisions. And so I wanted to just kind of contribute to that. But before I do that, I sort of want to explain the spreadsheet, because it was research that I did for a project that I was working on, and I was happy to share with you the results, but it might not make sense to you. So I did want to go over that. So, okay, stay right here. I'm going to share my screen, so stay right here. Yay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet. And what I did is I compared, I did Wix, Weebly, GoDaddy, Squarespace, starter websites, and WordPress.org. And down the left-hand side are all the features that I looked at. And I didn't put them all on here because some of them were a wash. Like, they either all had the same feature or they didn't have the feature. So why bother? So, so Wix here, so these prices, they've got different packages. So like Wix goes from $25 a month to $5 a month. So that's what that all means in those little boxes. And then you come down to like free domains, and this says like 1 year. This means that the $25 package comes with 1 year free domain, whereas this $5 one does not come with anything. So if you're wondering why some have boxes and some don't, that's why. The other thing is U here stands for unlimited, because I couldn't fit the word unlimited in there. I think everything else should be pretty self-explanatory. One thing is, when I started doing this about 4 weeks ago, Wix had a free version. And I went back there a little while ago to put sort of a nicer version of this together, and it was gone. So let's see, it's August 23rd. Make sure you check before you make your final decision. Make sure that all of these are still apply. So they might not have the same features, or they've changed them, or whatever the case is. So, so take a look at that. Okay, the other question you might be having is, what the heck is a starter website? And the starter website was the project that inspired this, this chart, to take a look at sort of what was going on. So, well, actually, let me tell you the story. All right, hang on. I'm going to come back here to you. All right, there you are. Hi. Okay, so not too long ago, I got called by 2 different clients. One client called me, and really successful entrepreneur. She does really well for herself. And she called me in a panic, needing a website in like 5 days. And custom websites, they just don't work that way. It's just very difficult to do a website, a custom website in that short amount of time. So the other piece that, she was super smart, right? So she could have done her own do-it-yourself website, so that wasn't a problem. But what made her a little different is she really understood the value of her time. And, I suggested these like Wix to her or something like that, and she was like, no, my time's way too valuable. So, I don't know that really hit home with me right then, but it did later. So, and we are going to look at that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But the second client called me, and she was not as technical. Like she really struggled. In fact, she had her website on another platform that I didn't even bother putting in here, so small, but she was really struggling with trying to do something, and she didn't have the funds to pay me to do all that. And so I tried to help her as best I could from what I knew. And we were both frustrated. We talked about maybe changing that website and putting it on a WordPress platform. But the problem is that you lose all your data. Like you can't just package that up and just stick it on a different server. So I really thought long and hard, because I was as frustrated as they were that, I couldn't help them. I mean, who wants that, right? So, so that's why I started researching all of these different platforms and decided to put this website service together, and it's called Starter Websites. So let's take a look. I just want to introduce to you like bits and pieces of this, because I don't know that this spreadsheet is really going to show you some of the things that it really does that stands out. Like one of the lines talks about, it's fully managed. Everything's fully, like, what does that mean? So I'm going to show you what that means. Hang on, be right back, because I'm going to share my screen again. Don't go away, stay right there. Hang on, stay there. Yay, there we are. Okay. All right, there we go. Here's the starter website. So the starter website is a tweener solution, right? So it's definitely not a do-it-yourself, because I'm doing it for you. I'm handling your website for you 100%. But it doesn't come at the high price tag and the really slow launch date as a custom website. So you can see here that, so what I say, August 23rd, I guarantee that I can launch your website in 5 business days. Now, in all fairness here, my clock starts when I get your content. So once I get your copy and your images and all that stuff, then the clock starts on me. So, and that could be as soon as August 30th, but we're going to take a look at content and also in this really quickly, but let me move on here. All right, let me just show you here where it becomes a tweener. So here's a do-it-yourself site, and here's where the starter site is a little different. I'm doing the website for you, so I'm building this as not a do-it-yourself solution. And I did this because stay in your lane. Stay what you're good at. This is what I'm good at. Hand it out, hand it off. I do this, and you do your profession. Unless, of course, you are a web developer, then I say, have at it. This is really great for the non-technical. That was one of the inspirations of this. Here's the other piece, and I see this a lot. The designs. Listen, you guys are gorgeous, and I love seeing your beautiful pictures of yourselves on your websites, and and then the highlighted color is a beautiful pink. And don't get me wrong, I love pink. I'm a user experience web developer and designer. So my specialty is your visitors. And your beautiful picture on there doesn't necessarily convert and interact with your visitors. So all of these starter websites are designed by a professional. They're designed by me. I specifically design them to interact and to flow with your visitors on your website. So that's a big deal. That makes quite the difference. You always have your domain. That's sort of a non-issue now. There's add-on features. So the starter is the base, and then sort of like the other do-it-yourself solutions, those are all the base, and then you can add on different features. So we work the same way. So the other really important piece to this that's different is there's a cap to functionality in the DIY sites, right? There's only so much that you can do, but these starter websites, they're built on the WordPress platform. So at any point, you can upgrade your site to a custom website anytime. So let's say you want to add you want to add a certificate program or a learning system or something, we can add a learning management system to there and get paid and do that. It's not like that can happen super easy, which sort of segues into the custom websites. I'm going to jump ahead here. So we handle all the security and all the hosting. One of the little caveats with WordPress is you really have to be up on the security. You have to keep everything updated. You've got to keep backups of your site. It's really important. I'm on a bazillion blogs that I get notification that says this plugin has a vulnerability, update it immediately. And I do. And I go in there and I handle that all for my clients. So that's what these starter websites do. I handle this totally for you. And I handle the hosting. You don't have to go out and find your own hosting. And I have badass hosting. I love my hosting. So I'm really proud of that because it wasn't always great. And now it's really awesome. So, they're affordable. These websites are super affordable. I already told you that they launch in 5 days. And then also I throw in some stock photos. So that's kind of cool. So I mentioned that there's some add-ons, and the other DIY sites have this as well. And so the blog is actually free. It's a free add-on. You can either add that on or not. It's up to you. But you can sell stuff, email marketing. You can add a calendar if you want to add, you've got speaking engagements or whatever the case is. We are definitely going to be adding to this, and I would love to hear from you if there's a particular feature that you're looking for. Let me know. Maybe we can strike a deal and get it up there for you, and then we can just offer it to everybody. So let me know. I would be certainly open to that. But there's one more piece to this that I want to talk about because I think it's getting bad-mouthed, and I want to bring it into a better light. And that is the edits. So after your site is launched, who handles the edits? Does the client, do you have access to make those changes? The starter website is built to respect your time and to understand that in order to grow a business, you've got to stay in your lane, do what you do well. And it's getting a bad rap that developers aren't letting their clients have access to the site. And I get that. But as I dug a little deeper, I did some more research on this and talked to some specific people that had this problem. And really what the problem came down to is two things. One is that the changes were really expensive, that it was really out of their budget. And number two, the response time was awful. They just weren't getting, somebody told me that they requested a change for their website and they didn't do it until after their event. Well, that doesn't work for anybody, right? That's awful. So I get that. I get why it's sort of getting a bad rap. But so I'm going to take all of that. I take all that away with the websites, with the starter websites. So what we do is we handle all of your edits, and they're in 3 packages. But the starter website comes already with one free change. So once a month, I'll change a picture. I can add dates. I can make these small changes. And there's a little chart. You can go onto the website and check out like what constitutes as a small change, what's 2 small changes, and so forth. So that's free. That comes with your starter website. You get one each month, and they don't roll over, but you get one each month. And that should pretty much, for the most part, take care of it. But just in case it doesn't, I've added 3 packages, right? So you get package 1 is 4 small changes, 24 small changes, or 40. And obviously, the more you get, the cheaper that it gets. But the key to this is that they're good for 6 months. So it's not like that you have to use it up immediately. You get 4 of them. And so really you're talking about getting a total of 6 in the next 6 months. So that sort of takes care of price. The time-wise, we do ask for at least 24 hours just to make sure that we can fit you into our schedule. But if we can get your changes done sooner, we will. We understand that these changes need to be done quickly. So we handle that for you. So I wanted to dispel that myth. And I wanted to, hang on, I'm going to come back here. Come back. Hey, there you are. So I wanted to, again, talk about this time saving, these DIY solutions. And truly, when I say this, this might be the right solution for you, but the numbers don't lie. And I want to show you what these numbers are. And I use this spreadsheet for myself all the time. So let's take a look. I'm going to go again. So stay here. I'll be right back. I'm going to share screen. Okay, I'll be right back. There it is. Hang on, let me make it bigger so we can see it. There we go. Okay, so here is the DIY solution in this row. And you're looking at about, for like the Wix's top program, it's going to cost you about $600 for 2 years. And that's a really good price. That is really good. That's attractive. And I get why folks kind of get lost in that, because you're like, oh, I think there's this illusion that that the bank account has so much more value, and we're going to sort of dispel some of that, and we'll talk about that in a second. But $600, that's a good price. No add-ons. All of these guys come with add-ons. I told you this already, but for this sake, we're going to say you're not going to put any add-ons in. So you're really looking at $600 for 2 years. That's a good deal. So here's your setup. This is how much time it's going to take you to build this. And a couple weeks ago, I did a survey and asked some DIY website builders how long it took them to build their website. And I got answers anywhere from 2 days to over 14 days. So for this purpose, I was like, all right, well, let me split it down the middle. So let's say 7 days. And, obviously you're not going to work on it straight through there 8 hours or 10 hours. Let's say you're going to work on it for 6 hours at 7 days. So that's where I got 42 hours. So 42 hours for that. Writing content. This is something that a lot of folks, they get to it and they're like, oh yeah, I got to put the content in there. Professional copywriters, it takes them anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to write about 500 words. So let's take that as an example. Let's say it's going to take you 4 hours. And this, all these numbers might be different. You can just plug in what works for you. But you've got 4 website pages that you have to write content for. So let's say, 4 hours. So we're looking at 16 hours just to handle your content. The support. This is another thing that people sort of forget when they're building their own. And chances are you're not going to know how to change your DNS records, that you're not going to know how to do something particular. You're going to have to go on Google. You're going to have to call support. You're going to have to get on your Facebook groups and ask these questions. And that typically in these 42 hours, it'll be another about 2 hours. So we are looking at a total of 60 hours. What's your hourly rate? What are you worth? What do you charge your clients on an hourly basis? What is that value? $50 a month? I think that's probably a good starting point. Wherever that is for you, fill in that blank. And now we're looking at your cost of $3,000 for these 60 hours of work. So we're looking at a total of $3,600. That's pretty significant. Let's take a look at the starter website. Okay, so starter website has, it's a little bit more. So this is our top program. So this is the top starter website that you can get, and that's a 2-year investment of $2,100. So for argument's sake, let's say you're going to get someone to write all 4 of your website pages, and you're going to add 4 small changes in this that you can use up to 6 months. So we're going to just round that off and say it's about $500. So you're looking at a total of $2,600. All right, let's look at your time. The setup, big goose egg, 0, writing content. We do have to interview you and get to know you a little bit. So I think it's conservative to say about 2 hours of that. Support, obviously another goose egg. So we're looking at 2 hours of your time for this at $50. So you have a commitment of about $100. All right, let's take a look at the numbers here. $2,700 versus $3,600. That's an $864 difference. And that's head turning enough. I think that's something someone would take a second look and go, all right, well, I have to understand what my time is worth in this. The piece that I really want you to pay attention to is this 58 hours, because there's something that's not calculated in here, and that is your opportunity costs. So in other words, in those 58 hours, where could you be generating $5,000 of business, $10,000 of business? Could you, if you made a couple of cold calls, if you were making some emails, if you were out networking, could you find that $25,000 client that you've been waiting for in those 58 hours? Those are lost opportunities that you're spending working on your website. And it has to be incorporated. I mean, that's how I do it. I have to stay focused on what I do. Not that that matters, but you know, for your business, you have to make the decisions as well. So the other piece to this is that we became entrepreneurs. All right, hang on, I'm gonna come back. Okay, there you are. Hi. So we became entrepreneurs because we wanted control over our time. We wanted control of our schedule. And somewhere in the line, I know I get this way too, that I've lost, you know, why I do this. And yeah, do you want to be spending more time with your family? Do you want to be out riding your bike? Do you want to be out skiing or at a concert, whatever the case is? So consider that time. And listen, I know I went on about the starter websites, but I wanted to kind of give it a fair shake in this spreadsheet that I did for you, because it doesn't tell that whole story. But it's not for everybody, and that's what I understand. So believe me, if this is not for you and you're super quick at this, I say go for it, and I support that 100%. So we are at the time. You sat through this whole video. I'm so impressed. But right now, there's the offer. And I think this is going to be a really great benefit for you and help you out a lot in your journey in trying to find the right platform and what you do and the redesigning of your website and all of that, whatever you have planned for yourself. But I think this is going to be really, really helpful. Don't forget to copy the password down here, because that's going to gain you access. So don't forget to do that. But click on that link. It's going to go away. Once you close this, it's gone. So take advantage of it. I think this is going to be a real great benefit for you. And if it's not, that's okay too. I support that. And I hope at some point that we get to work together. I would really look forward to meeting you and hope that we can work together. I've spent a lot of your time here. I appreciate it so much. Click on the button now. Anyway, we'll see you. I had a great time. Bye.